I was involved more than, I'm sure, 90% of all South Africans of whatever colour in the struggle against apartheid. And that was all I could do. Take a stand and decide where I stood on these issues. And I did what I could where I was with what I had and try to make a contribution. And I'd like people to judge me on that, not the paleness of my skin. My purpose was to kill once and for all this notion, this lie, that the DA would bring back apartheid if we won an election. That's the lie that our opponents peddle. What I thought would kill that myth once and for all would be a black South African with impeccable struggle credentials who would never in a million years be the presidential candidate for a party that intended to bring back apartheid. That was my logic. It would have killed that notion. And for the DA to grow, we have to kill that notion. And unless the DA grows, South Africa's democracy is doomed. The only impact it's had is to blow a Gang out of the water as a contender in this election. And fortunately, we've taken her support. It wasn't intended to be that way. I didn't have that kind of Machiavellian intention at all. But it's turned out to have had a good impact for us. The EFF. Well, I think that they're the conduit for frustrated South Africans, actually. That's where the frustrated South Africans are. They'll do well. And I think that if they can hold it together and build a structure and institutions, they could win some local authorities in the Northwest and in Limpopo in the 2016 election. And that'll be good, because when they do, people will see how they govern and they'll see what their policies mean like in practice. So it's good. Mmusi Maimane decided he supported the DA. And in the 2011 local government election, he wanted to stand as a candidate for us in a ward. So he put his hat in the ring and we have interviews. And he was going for a very marginal ward, which he might not have won. And one of the people on the panel said, well, this guy has got it. And he called me up and he said, I'd like you to meet this guy called Mmusi Maimane. I'd like you to come up to Johannesburg and meet him. So I flew up and I took Mmusi out for breakfast. And I was smitten. I said, he's got it. And we have to make sure that he gets a serious opportunity in this election. I like Twitter very much for the reasons that most journalists don't like it. Because it actually breaks the once held monopoly of journalists to shape the world as readers see it. And it liberates all the rest of us. And I really like that. Everyone in the DA knows that they can tell me what they believe. And they can criticize me, and they do believe me. And the 5 people who are closest to me in the DA, the 5 people who are closest to me in the DA criticize me all the time.
Do they ever tell you to stop tweeting?
Oh, they do all the time. All the time. I had a delegation of 3 of them come along together. I thought they could bully me in collective numbers. I said, listen guys, I've got to be able to be myself. And I said, if I can't succeed as a politician being myself, well, that's fine, then I'll move on. But I have to be myself. And they're cool with that. I mean, they mutter darkly and all of that sort of thing. But I often do listen to them. I often do listen to them. But now and again, I wear what I like. I eat what I like. I tweet what I like. Because I have to retain something of me.